everyone, it's Sue. Welcome back to day 16 of JJ Tag a Day, and the prompt is B-E-E. Well, I've got a B stamp here. I have got some embossing powder. I thought I might emboss the B stamp. I've got like a old gold, I think it is, and then I've got a really like a bright yellowy gold, and then I've got like I don't know what sort of gold that is. I've had it for years, so I'll stamp them a few times and emboss them and see which colour I like the best. So I've embossed those. I did 2 of the yellow because I thought I liked them, but I'm not 100% sure now. I've also pre-prepared, I've embossed using this hexagon, looks a little bit like honeycomb, onto a coffee dyed tag. So I've done that beforehand. Then I've used this Tim Holtz Thinlits die, number 660220, and I've cut the corner of each, or 2 of the corners on the tag. So I've just got to decide whether I want to put that on yellow or black. That yellow is quite neon, but it's the only yellow that I've got really, I think. And then I've also cut out this hexagon honeycomb die from Uniquely Creative in black. I've kept all the inner bits because I just thought I might use them and put some of them back into the die cut. That's just a little bit of prep that I've got. Now I've also got these little MDF pieces that I painted with ink and paint ages ago for a canvas that I did. I have no idea where the canvas has gone to in all our moving, but this is all left over, so I thought I may even try and incorporate some of those into one of the tags as well. So let's get into it and we'll see where we're heading. I'll probably end up just fussy cutting some of those bees and see what we come up with. I fussy cut out 2 of those bees, and I'm just going to use some Rusty Hinge Distress ink. I'm really stuck on my inks. I'm really enjoying them, so I'm continuing to use them while I enjoy them. I'm going to cut down the tag tops, and then I'm going to start adding a bit of ink. So I'm just going to run the ink pad to the tag over the top of those embossed hexagons. I'm not particularly concerned about it getting all over the embossed parts, so I just do it just fairly randomly, and then I'm going to spritz it with some water. It doesn't do what I exactly want it to do or what I think it was going to do, so it doesn't really run. I've then decided that I'm going to use some fossilized amber, and I'm actually going to apply that to an acrylic block and use a paintbrush and try and get, actually I don't even know, no, I don't use a paintbrush. I actually dip the card into the ink and the water. Now, I used the fossilized amber was a Distress Oxide, which was a silly slip-up of mine. I meant to get the Distress ink one. So this will dry differently because Distress Oxide reacts differently with water. It's looking quite nice, the colour there, but once it dries differently. But that's okay. We are just going to run with it. So I do get my paintbrush out now, and I'm just trying to add a few runs of this fossilized amber. I still haven't clicked that I've used the oxide ink. A bit slow sometimes, but I just keep going with it and just apply it and try and get it to run down the tag in different areas. Hey, I'm having fun while I'm doing it, so that's all that matters, isn't it? So I've just popped that tag aside to dry there, and you can see the way the oxide has reacted with the water, and the colours sort of not as vibrant as the Distress ink. So I'm just fiddling around now. I think I want to put this, well, actually, technically it's not a tag, is it? It'll end up being a journaling card, but I'm going to add it in as one of the tags for the day. I'm just trying to work out, do I want black up the top, yellow down the bottom? Do I want it on yellow, or do I want it on black? I've gone with the black. Those couple of hexagons down the bottom won't pop out, and I'm not going to cut them out with a knife. They can just stay like that. So I'm using this, it's just a A5 black card. It's about 200 GSM. And I'm going to put that on there, but I want something else on there, so I'm just having a think about that. I've got this really fine creamy coloured tulle, and I've decided that I think I want to layer that underneath. It's sort of, when you look close up to tulle, it's sort of like a honeycomb effect as well. So I've decided I'm going to put that just as another texture between the two layers. And I'm just going to roughly glue that down, and then I'll trim the card down. You can see that I haven't worried about trimming the tulle or anything down. I'm just trimming it all as a whole, because I'm going to probably end up layering this top part onto that yellow cardstock that I had out earlier. So I'm just trimming that down. Can you see the hexagon effect of the tulle? I think it looks really lovely. So I've done that. I'm quite happy with the way that that looks. I'm going to layer it onto that really bright yellow cardstock, and I'm just going to have about 1/8 of an inch mat all the way around that. I'm going to glue that directly to the cardstock. So I've trimmed that down, and I'm just going to distress it again with my scissors around the edge, really quite roughly. So that will make the border around that tag. We're calling it a tag, remember, don't tell Shannon that it's actually a journaling card. And the border will be smaller than 1/8 of an inch then. And then I'll add a little bit of ink to it as well, just to darken up the edges. I'm going to have a bit of a play around now with these little, they're MDF, but they're really thin. So they're very lightweight, and they're really not a lot of height to them. So I'm just going to position a few and have a play around with them. And I'll end up gluing some of these down. I'm not convinced I like the bright yellow bees on that tag, so I'm going to cut the gold ones out and just have a look at that and see if I like them better. I've cut that one out and I think I do like it better because I've got the yellow background and the yellow on those little MDF pieces. I think it was just too much yellow for my liking. I'm not a real lover of yellow as it is, so I've gone for the toned down bee, so I've just gone for the gold embossed bee. I'm going to glue him on and I'm going to lift his wings a little bit so that they look a little bit 3D. Still trying to fiddle around and decide. I've decided that I'm just going to stick it down. I felt I wanted a label or a word or something on there as well, and I didn't have any labels with the word nature or anything like that, but I've got this lovely what's it called? The stamp is called Beekeeper and it's from Sampool. So I'm just going to choose a label, a blank one, and I'm going to stamp that beehive company stamp that's up the top there into one of them. The Beekeeper, sorry. Stamp that into the label. I'm just going to use black ink and the label is black as well, so it all tones in together. They stamp so beautifully, those stamps. I'm going to add a bit of cheesecloth just for a little bit more texture, and I'm going to put the label just down in the bottom right hand corner there. And I will pull away the excess cheesecloth as well. That other tag is now dry and I'm actually going direct to the tag with the Distress Oxide just to bring in a little bit more of that fossilised amber. And I'm just going around the edge in random places with both ink pads just to bring in a little bit more colour. I've decided I'm going to use this really lovely hexagon honeycomb die from Uniquely Creative. It's one of their slimline dies. I'm just going to trim that down to fit onto the tag, so I'm just snipping away little bits of it. I also ended up deciding to back it with coffee dyed paper before I glued this die cut down, and I sewed around the edges and I put a little bit of darker ink, walnut stain I think it was, around the edge just to frame that whole tag. And I'm pretty happy with the positioning of that die. So I'm just fiddling around. Just before I actually commit to gluing it down, I'm going to have a little bit of a play around and just see what I think. Yep, I'm going to do it. So with these fine dies, because I keep forgetting to use the double-sided tape on the cardstock, my beautiful friend Vicky gave me some and I keep forgetting to use it. I just add the glue to my hand there and I just lightly touch these fine dies into the glue and it actually sticks it down. So just a little hint there. And the glue just peels off your hand once it's dry. I'm just going to glue that down in place. So I'm going to glue just a few of these little hexagons back into the die, just to sort of add a little bit of a triangle for your eye to travel along the tag. It's a bit fiddly, but I don't know. It's probably unnecessary, but I just decided to do it. I had them there, so I thought, why not? So I didn't really glue that many in there, and I'm just going to use the bright yellow bee on this one because there's not a lot of yellow on this, just the fossilised amber on the back of the tag. Same thing, I'm going to glue it down with his wings lifted a little bit. And I also want to add a word to this tag, and I'm going to use the Beehive Company stamp and back it with yellow cardstock and put it on this tag. I've just grabbed a scrap piece of coffee dye cardstock using the VersaFine ink. Once again, I find that the best ink for these clear polymer stamps. It seems to work really well. So I'm just going to stamp that down, cut it out into a rectangle, and then back it onto the yellow cardstock. I'm just sticking that down, just pretty much so that the bee is touching the label as well. And I'm pretty happy with that one. As I said, I'm not a great lover of yellow, so this was, I love bees, but this was quite difficult for me. Quite happy with the end result. I'll show you that up close. It'll be fun in a nature and botanical journal. So I hope you enjoyed that again today. Day 16, we're really going through February, aren't we? So thanks for joining me, guys. Take care, and until next time, I hope you get a little bit of creative time in. See you soon. Bye.